Hi everyone, I'm Shern. Just a bit about myself. I'm the CIO and also the co-founder of LWE. So LWE is actually a company founded by me and my father. This is my father over here. Okay. So I'm the CIO and also the international network director. So CIO basically all the IT matters, all the information policy, I will basically be in charge. And on the network director, basically what I'll do is I coordinate with all the partners that we have in different countries. Okay, I'll explain a little bit on that. So I have about 10 years of experience in logistics and courier. So previously I used to work in one of the biggest courier company in Malaysia. So from there I got some experience. Then after that we started this company in Hong Kong. So who are we? So what's LWE about? It's a company formed in 2010. We formed this company in Hong Kong. We provide diversified services catered for cross-border deliveries and fulfillment. Okay, most of our customers are coming from East Asia when we first started. So mainly from China. A lot of these are e-commerce companies, and they send a lot of packages to worldwide. We have a lot of services coverage in Asia Pacific, into Australia, into USA and Europe. Okay. And then we have also extensive presence in Asia Pacific region because through the years of experience that we have, we actually built a lot of relationship with these regions. So we also have a lot of IT solutions that allow our customers and our partners to integrate with us, and also to allow us to help our customers to automate the processes. Okay, so these are the partners that we work with. Okay, they come from different regions in the world, different types of logistics services as well. Some of them, they are post office. Okay, so we are also a partner for Post Malaysia. We use extensively Skynet and PostW for local deliveries. We are also working with some of the parcel lockers, you may have heard of them before, because right now B2C delivery is getting more and more challenging, and parcel lockers are actually emerging in the region. We also work with some of the 3PL warehousing solutions. For example, ISO which just presented just now. Okay, so we have established our offices in Hong Kong. We are Malaysians, so when we first started this company, we started in Hong Kong. So a lot of people ask us why do we do that? It's so expensive to have a company in Hong Kong, to hire Hong Kong people to actually run the business over there. Part of the reason is because Hong Kong is a place in Asia where the East meets the West. So that means to say a lot of Western companies, a lot of e-commerce companies, when they want to do sourcing in China or in East Asia, the first place they go to normally they go to Hong Kong, because it's easier to find someone in Hong Kong or even in southern China to actually connect to them and help them to introduce with suppliers and partners in the region. So it's also a very strategic location to China market, okay? Partly because a lot of Hong Kong people originated from southern China. So for example, from Guangzhou, so they got the roots over there, and it's easy for us to access China once we land in Hong Kong. So it's just like from Singapore to go to Johor Bahru, okay? And Hong Kong, it's a free port, meaning to say for most items other than cigarettes and alcohol, there's no duty and tax. So anything that comes into Hong Kong for you to repack, to go out, is actually free of duty and taxes. So you don't have to worry about import, sales tax or GST when you come into Hong Kong before you ship out. Okay? And also Hong Kong has one of the most busiest airport in the region. So it's easy for us as a logistic company to access different airlines to different parts of the world. Okay? And of course, we have our office in Malaysia. Okay? For Malaysia, other than being our home, it's easy for us to go to the office. Okay, it's also because of the low cost of doing business. So here in Malaysia, we set up our office mainly for regional support, for our IT team to be hosted here. Our finance, our admin are all hired over here to support our network partners in different regions. It's easy to find people in Malaysia who can speak multiple languages. It's either you can speak Malay and you can associate with Bahasa Indonesia. English is a norm. Chinese allow us, and Cantonese allow us to communicate with our partners or our customers in China and Hong Kong. Okay, we have world-class infrastructure. A lot of people when I tell them that, they are surprised. In fact, our KRA, our highways are actually quite well built compared to other places in Southeast Asia. that allowed us to actually make Malaysia one of the key regions like in Southeast Asia, okay, compared to Thailand, compared to Indonesia, to be one of the transshipment area in Southeast Asia, okay. And one of the biggest reasons why Malaysia is important because we have the biggest budget airline, which is AirAsia, and budget airline is actually very important for e-commerce parcel, for cross-border parcel because this budget airline allows us to have very cheap cargo space, which make it economical for us to provide services to our customers. Okay, so maybe just cover a little bit about e-commerce landscape in Southeast Asia. So not so much about just Malaysia. Yeah. So we know that internet penetration in Southeast Asia is actually growing double digits. And of course, you can see from the graph, Singapore, Malaysia, the third is Vietnam, actually has one of the highest internet penetration in the region. Partly because more and more people are actually using smartphones. So mobile penetration is actually at 109%. However, smartphone penetration, that means we call it non-smartphone or feature phone, other than that, smartphone users currently in Malaysia is about 80%. So when you have smartphones, it's easy for us to actually access the internet compared to just using a laptop. And one of the fastest regions growing in Vietnam is also because a lot of people in Vietnam, they started using smartphones before even actually spending more time on the computer. Okay, so the internet users in Southeast Asia currently will grow from 120 million to 205 million in 2 years' time. So this was okay. So and it's estimated to grow 3 times, which is 260 million in 2020. Okay, and a lot of the population, online population in Southeast Asia is relatively young. 70% of the online population in Southeast Asia is actually below 25 years old. Okay, and a lot of people like us, we actually spend a lot of time on the internet, and because of handphones, you can access the internet everywhere. So I was just talking to one of my friends just now. Nowadays, we can even make internet purchase in the toilet. Yeah, so it's true. So you can handphone everywhere. Okay, so talking so much about Southeast Asia, so what's the market potential? So 48% of the Southeast Asia will be online by 2017, which is 2 years' time. Right now, the shopping volume is currently about 0.2% of the current retail sales. It will grow to 5%, and it's worth about 21.8 billion US dollars. Okay, so the grey circle over there is the current internet retail sales, and the red color one is what it's going to be in a couple of years' time. Okay. So let's talk a bit about e-commerce logistics. So e-commerce logistics has actually changed. A lot of logistics companies, including courier companies, freight forwarding, warehousing companies, have changed in the past couple of years. We have seen how they have changed, they are forced to change, or they have innovated the solutions to change to suit the e-commerce needs. So one of the key reasons is because parcels they are moving across the border is getting smaller and smaller. So 5 years ago, I'm sure a lot of people here used to buy a lot of goods from China. So people buy goods, they generally buy like 50 kilos, 100 kilos, you send by sea in a container into Malaysia. Then you find a shop lot, you do a warehouse, and then you start selling from here. So that's because it's very expensive to send by air. But as time goes by, rental become more and more expensive, labor become more and more expensive, and it doesn't really make sense for you to send one container to store your items here for a month, or hire few people, and you pay, say for example, $10,000 for 5 people to actually manage your inventory to ship out. So the cost is gone up wrong. So that actually encouraged a lot of people to ship more frequently. So people like us come in, we started to see, okay, maybe it's time for us to reduce the pricing to make things even more economical for people to want to ship more frequently. So downsize your shipment. So because of that, we also start providing different types of services. So courier companies, generally they provide courier service. So courier service, in our context, we know that it takes you 2 to 3 days from door to door. But e-commerce, for you to just use courier services is actually sometimes can be very expensive, depending on how good it is. So logistic companies like us, we provide multiple delivery types. So we work with post offices, okay? We provide direct services into destinations. So we send it directly over there and we integrate with local economies. Okay? That's why you see a lot of partners that we do. So we leverage on the strong point for each and every country. Okay? It can be a post office who provide a trackable service. It can be a courier company that can provide a very good service at competitive price. Okay? And we also work with integrators like DHL and GDEX. FedEx. So because you downsize your shipping and your logistics, you can't afford to have regional warehouses everywhere. So this is where you have to start thinking, okay, strategically, where is the right place for me to centralize all my inventories? Okay? Most of us, we buy goods from Eastern Asia. Eastern Asia meaning to say, of course, China, Hong Kong, Korea, and Taiwan. Okay? So a lot of people will start thinking, what if I have my warehouse set up closer to my source, which is my supplier? That will be China or Hong Kong. Okay? Because this is the gateway for you, not only to ship into Malaysia or Southeast Asia. If you want to expand into worldwide, for example, if you want to go on Amazon or if you go into the US or Europe, China is the place to go. Okay? They have abundance of resources and cost is still competitive for you to host a warehouse over there or find somebody to help you to run the warehouse over to ship over. Another one basically is Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is a very important hub for Southeast Asia, as I just mentioned. So people, so what people do basically is they send goods in bulk into Malaysia, but not only for goods for Malaysian market. So when you send goods into Malaysia, what you can do is you actually prepare yourself to ship into Southeast Asia. Okay? It allows you to have fast-moving goods to be shipped and fulfilled faster. Because from Malaysia to all the Southeast Asian countries, except for Vietnam and Philippines, generally takes you 2 hours. So for you to do a confident next day delivery for your fulfillment to Southeast Asia and certain customers is not difficult. So that's why China and Kuala Lumpur in our region, where we source our goods from, are very important places for you to think about the regional warehouses. Okay? There's a lot of drop shipping term. I'm not sure if you guys heard of it. So traditionally, drop shipping means you sell something, and then you get the supplier to help you ship directly to your buyer. So you don't actually hold it on. So your suppliers must have certain capability, or you provide certain functionalities for them to print the labels. So we actually help customers to fulfill their option. That being said, if you have suppliers or value-added partners in China or Hong Kong or other countries where you buy a supplier from, we can help you to come in to provide a web building solution for them to print your orders directly, your shipping labels directly, and then we help you to collect and send direct to your buyers. Okay? So drop shipping is good in a way because it allows you to test the market. Okay, so before you actually want to see yourself having a lot of goods imported into Indonesia, what you can do is you start testing the market to see whether the products are popular into Indonesia. So what are things being sold over there? Things below 20 USD, for example, cheap washers or motorbike parts. So you want to try and source it in China, see which are the brands, colors, types that's sold over there. Want to source it from there, you drop ship directly into Indonesia. So your holding cost is very low. Okay, you may pay a bit more for your cost because you can't buy in bulk. But overall, it lowers your overall tuition fees to test the market. Okay? And also DDP solutions into various Southeast Asian destinations. So what is DDP? DDP is actually delivery duty paid. Okay? A lot of people, when you talk about cross-border shipping, the first thing you have to understand is there any tax and duties involved when you send to those countries? So DDP means after you know you have tax and duties in those countries, how do you cost in your tax duties in the selling price? So there's two schools of thought. A lot of people don't want to touch that because if you touch that, that makes your selling price very unattractive. So if you're competing at the price level when you sell yourself, you definitely don't want to tell your customers, including all your duties. But if you turn it the other way, right, by costing in your duty early and knowing how much it pays for duty, you are actually giving yourself an opportunity to fulfill faster compared to other sellers. That meaning to say, you don't have to give your buyers last-minute surprises for the custom broker or the customs to call them to pay duties. So that will actually give them a bad experience in buying from you. Number two, that actually slows down the fulfillment. So for example, if the customer is not contactable for any days, then they will start complaining and say, look, I didn't receive any phone calls that the things are delayed. But in actual fact, they didn't receive a call from the customer to actually review. So we touch about delivery options. So we actually have different services that we provide. We are actually a partner for social media, as I said earlier. So we provide postal packets. So postal packets generally are for things below 2 kilos. Generally takes you about 10 to 20 days to Southeast Asia. into Europe, it takes you up to about 20 to 30 days. Okay, and then it's very suitable for lightweight and cheap products. So a lot of people who buy home cases very cheap. There's no point for you to use an express service to send out. Okay, so a lot of people prefer also package. International parcels, these are actually something we actually integrate directly with last mile couriers in different places. So in Malaysia, we go with Post Laju, Skynet. In Australia, we go to say Australian Post track service. So generally, it takes you about 3 to 4 days to deliver after you touch down. So, but the first mile, we need to say from Hong Kong when we pick up and send out, we actually operate like an express service because we want to shorten the time taken and give people more time to actually deliver the last mile. So generally, it takes you about 5 to 10 minutes to deliver your full traffic place. So this service is actually very suitable for items across the border. Okay, so items that customer pays, for example, $100 to $150 or $50 to $100, they can't afford to pay by express, and then they want something that is a little bit more promising than postal factors. So they want to use the international market. So international express, of course, it's what you use for DHL and FedEx. You want next day or 2-3 days service. So 2-3 days service, basically you want to give the customer very good experience. So this is very cheap or urgent goods and everything. Okay. Door-to-door freight are for everyday freight. So if you want to, so for people who still buy their stock from China, say you want to buy 30 kilos of clothes from Guangzhou and ship it over here, we still provide the clothing stock. And all our services we provide for free. Okay? So the other thing that actually changed the landscape of logistics is you'll find that a lot of logistics companies, they have to be more competitive. They cannot be complacent, so they have to show customers that they are trying to find ways to help them save costs, make the service more visible, to improve the customer experience. So first thing first is how to improve your service visibility. So by saying service visibility, it actually means how to show your customer the tracking status as soon as they want it. Okay? So track and trace is the default norm. Okay? 10-15 years ago, right, if you talk about courier service in Malaysia, you probably never heard of any courier company that can give you an online tracking. 10 years later, any courier company that does not give you any tracking, you will know how to use it. So they are forced to do so. And nowadays, if your items is delivered and you cannot give them a POD the same day or proof of delivery the same day, customer will actually complain too. Sometimes if you provide the delivery service, you say it's delivered, they will want to ask you for signature. So these are the things that courier companies or logistic companies have to start working to prove customers that yes, it's signed, especially for B2C, because fraud cases are very high. Okay? So other than that, we also provide SMS notifications for some of our services. Okay, for example, in Malaysia, if there's a field delivery, our system will actually generate SMS notifications to customers to notify them that there's a delivery, in case they didn't see any delivery note from at the doorstep. Okay. We also promote interoperable solutions. Okay, that means to say we work with marketplaces, we work with bigger customers who have a lot of volumes into the region. So no way you're gonna print your labels one by one, key one by one. So we want to find a way to actually speed up the label printing. So how do we do it? We have 2 ways. Either you actually log into our website, you create a CSV file, okay, after the CSV file, you print 200 labels on go. Or some customers, they actually have their own orders management system. So we actually integrate with the back end. So through your order management system, right, you actually just click a button, link to my server, print the label. So it makes your operations very convenient. You don't have to go to different systems to print different labels. We also have tracking API. So if you are sending your orders on the website, okay, you tell your customer it's been shipped. So most of the time you will send an email to the customer and say that this is a Skynet tracking number, please go to Skynet track. Okay? We provide value add to our customers. Tell your customers to come to your website and track your orders and see the tracking details over there by using our API. So help you to push the details on your website. Okay. We have versatile shipping options. Like I said earlier, we integrate with a lot of different carriers. So we can also help you to tailor-make. We also help you to recommend what are the services that you should use for different products. We can customize our prices and our services based on the demands. Okay. Some of our partners in different regions, in Southeast Asia sometimes, so they may not have good systems for them to fulfill the needs, but they have good service. So what we do is we actually provide them our back-end solutions for them to log in and update the POD. So some of them, they probably have like a team of 20 riders for this task. They're very good, but for them to actually update the status, they actually bring all the paperwork back to the office and say, look, just get a smartphone, use my app, and update real time. So we don't only help our customers to see the service, we help our partners. Okay. We are going to talk about two solutions that generally some of our customers will use here. One is the Malaysia email solution. Okay. Malaysia email solution basically allows you to pick up any items from this we have warehouses in Taiwan, Korea, China, and Hong Kong for you to drop items to, or for your sellers or partners to drop items to. So we provide a lot for sellers. Okay. So if you have more than one seller or more than one supplier, the sellers will park it under your account. So they can actually access the web and print the label to drop it based on what we cover. And then you can either have all these consolidated into your order, or you can actually ship directly to the buyer. Okay? So when you're selling something directly from Hong Kong, maybe you have a little young man over there to help you to buy stuff and then you want to ship direct. You can do that too. Okay? So by providing our login for them, you can ship direct. So again, if you buy a lot of stuff from different suppliers, okay, maybe some clothes from Guangzhou, some Japanese from Shenzhen, okay, and you want to ship it into Malaysia, you can send all to the warehouses honestly and pack all of it to help you to reduce the volumetric weight, and then send it to the doctor. So the benefits of this solution that we do a little bit differently is we try to make all the delivery being done by the shipper, which is your supplier or your partner. Okay? So they will be responsible to make sure all the shipping documents are done, and we provide the convenience to them. Okay? So there's no human error to make sure all the addresses are clean properly. Okay? We have receiving warehouse for them, so we don't have to worry about shipping to other places, because local courier service in China is very popular, so they prefer to use the courier to drop it off instead of doing it. Part of the reason because a lot of Chinese sellers or partners, they are very mobile. They may not be in the office all day to wait for people. So they will just say, why not just use the local courier, send it to your house. We say, fine, you can do that. Okay. If you are sending directly to your buyers, okay, one good thing is you're sending individual orders. So you're not sending, for example, 50 clothes in your door where you have to pay tax. Because if you send 30 kilo or 50 kilo of clothes, it could cost you up to $500 to $600. Maybe you can pay GST. The good thing about drop shipping by using this solution is that if you have 50 kilo of clothes, it's probably from 100 orders. So you pack them individually, print 100 labels, send it directly to all the buyers. So when we import every item separately. So each item will be below the top 100. So that saves you money. Okay. So again, if there's DD, some of the high value items, we can provide DD solution as well. So we can let you predetermine how much DD or taxes you have to pay for your item, so that when shipment comes in, we calculate for you, you can ship direct. There's no delay in the market. Okay. And you have to see a DD. So you can either use a registered mail service via Post Asia for ship items or light items, or you use DD via Post Large Sky. Okay. So that was the email solution, which touched a bit on dropship. So the other thing is Southeast Asia dropship. So if we extend a little bit further, right, what we have is we have warehouse in Taiwan, Korea, China, and Hong Kong. So if you buy supply from all these places, you don't only can sell, or you can actually extend yourself a bit further, not just into Malaysia. What if you want to access the marketplace, okay, into all the different countries in Southeast Asia, or even to Australia? So you do the job to sign up with those marketplaces to these products there. So the sources that you have, right, most likely they are from the same suppliers or same partners. So what we can do is actually help you to consolidate all the goods. We provide the labeling solution for them, and then we help you to ship out to all the countries directly from source. Okay. So number one, when you tranship through Hong Kong or Malaysia, right, you don't have to worry about what if I bring in to Malaysia there is duty and taxes. Technically, there's no duty taxes because we come in, we actually come out. Hong Kong is a free port, so there's no taxes involved. So actually, you don't have to worry about paying other taxes. We have DDP or DDU solution. So this one DDP is delivery duty paid. So the other side of DDP is DDU, means delivery duty unpaid. So for some customers or something that's very expensive, they can cost it. So you can have a DDU option. Free alert your buyers and you can pay for the taxes. Okay. And the same suppliers that you have, or same partners that you have, once you set up the team or the processes with them to ship out for you, okay, we can duplicate into multiple destinations. So you don't have to tell them to have different companies to deal with to ship to different places. So from the services that we provide, through the same solutions that they have, they just need to select the address, the country. The system will automatically print out the correct label for them to attach, and then we take it from there. They will just drop it at our warehouse. Once we receive, we have the information in our system, we will do the sorting in the warehouse and ship out from there. Okay. Then if you extend a little bit further, so if you have a lot of fast-moving goods, you want to lower the cost of purchasing, you can even consider having your regional warehouse in China or in Hong Kong. You can help you to run it as well. So some items, if you feel that, oh, every week I can estimate this amount of goods that are being sold, might as well I buy bulk every week, okay, and ship out from there. So some of the sellers that we know, right, they actually have sell a lot of watches, cheap watches. So there's this seller, he sells watches worldwide. He's doing about 40,000 watches a day through eBay and Amazon. Southeast Asia is doing about 3,000 watches a day. So what he does is he actually buys his watches from the factory. So he buys from the factory 100,000 watches and ship it to his warehouse. So he can actually predict the number of orders that allows him to pre-plan the purchase, lower the cost of shipping. And because the warehouse is close to the factory or to the suppliers, the logistic cost from factory to you is actually cheaper. We don't have to ship on container. So for those people who haven't done cross-border shipping before, just prepare a simple checklist. So the first thing we have to ask is where are those single places before you think about a long-term cross-border solution. So are you bringing your goods from China? Are you bringing goods from Korea? Do you plan to store your goods there? Do you actually plan to bring it into Malaysia to store it? Temporarily, as you grow, maybe you find partners to help you to run your warehouse overseas. Okay, so these are some thoughts you need to have. You need to understand your customers' mentality. So your buyers who buy goods from you, very simple thing that a lot of people actually didn't realize. A lot of people never understand the address format for the country that is sending. So in Malaysia, we normally have a unit number, or a jalan, or taman, so and so. But if you send to Indonesia, right, actually the jalan comes first, then only the unit number. So we were actually shipping. When we first started to do a lot of orders in Indonesia, we thought, oh, our merchants actually send a lot of the wrong addresses. So we started scrambling. Because how come they only give us the jalan? And then how come every jalan got a number over there? So after a while, then we realized actually Indonesia jalan comes first, and then the unit number. So you have to understand. So at the same time, it's very important. Try your best to actually get the postcode of all of this, because it is a postcode actually help to realize to do sorting in some of the countries, right? To make sure the parcel goes to the right region. So a lot of people say, oh, customer don't want to provide postcode. But with Google Maps, it's actually not easy to find postcode. It's not difficult to find postcode. So find all ways to actually clarify, okay, and get the correct information, phone numbers and for every product they sell to Southeast Asia, to Australia, there may be different tax activities involved. Malaysia, if it's anything below 500 ringgit, okay, generally there's no Indian taxes, there's no GST. So Singapore is about 400 dollars. Okay. Indonesia technically is below 40 US, but Indonesia they have a lot of restrictions in terms of licenses and permits. So these are the things you have to be careful when you ship to Indonesia or Thailand. Okay, for example, if you're shipping something with a brand to Thailand and you don't have the distributor rights in Thailand, so you may have problems with illegal shipments and delivery issues. Australia, anything below 1,000 Australian dollars, there's no tax. So you can ship practically everything that you can find in Lazada or 11th Street into Australia. But Australia, you have a problem. If you have anything made of wood or used products, you may have problems with the quality pass. So description of your goods is very important. So if you send an umbrella, you must specifically say umbrella with plastic handle. Otherwise, they say, oh, this umbrella may have good handle. Okay, just pick it out, hold the shipment for a week, and then charge you $100 Aussie just to inspect the goods and make sure, oh, this is plastic. But you already paid the $100. So quality is actually very important in Australia. So be careful. Food products in Australia is also very, very, very sensitive. Okay. Managing of returns. So a lot of people probably don't worry about returns. Even in Malaysia, when you sell in Malaysia, but you see that a lot of marketplaces, they actually allow free returns within 7 days and refunds. So if you send to Johor Bahru and have returns return, you probably pay $5 to $10 for this on the marketplace to do for you. But if you send to Indonesia or you send to Singapore, and then you want your returns to be sent back to Malaysia, so this is something that you have to consider. How are you going to bring those goods? When you bring those goods back to Malaysia, so if I send 100 orders to Singapore, I got 50 orders to bring back. So all 50 orders sent to my address, will the customer say, I'm buying all these things? Do I have to pay the 7% GST? So these are the things you have to consider. So some of those people, what they do is, they actually send back to themselves using post. So they actually put a lot of postal labels and send back. Okay, when you send back using postal labels, mixed together with other postal labels, the customers will not know that you are shipping a lot to yourself. So this is one way that they do it. Another way, right, to actually make it cheaper for you to manage your returns. Some people actually find someone to actually just fire sale all the things that the customer want. So you don't have to pay extra for the returns. Okay, you don't have to pay for the returns. Make sure somebody actually help you to put all this stuff on the local marketplace or this store to actually sell it on you. So if you have a lot of orders, you can face all these these are something you have to plan. Okay. Integration and automation. So I once met a customer. She's about 24, 25 years old. She was doing a lot of posts. She's very successful. So she hires 3 part-timers every day to help her to ship her orders. She has about 50 clothes to sell every day, just 50 clothes. So she hired 3 part-timers to help her to pack and help her to ship. So these 3 part-timers sit down every day, 3 hours, just to write the document. So if you got 50 orders, you need 3 people. What if you have 150 orders, you have 500 orders, how many people you can sit down? So even if you can automate using consignment notes, will it be efficient enough for you to tear out a copy, put the plastic pouch inside? So automation is very important. So for some customers, when they hit certain volumes, we do encourage them, okay, why don't you think about doing a batch upload into our system? Maybe use an Excel file, CSV file, 200 labels and upload. And then you just use the sticker label to attach. Spend one time cost to buy a label printer. It saves you a lot of time. So whenever you go to the label, you just paste. You don't have to worry about carrying, putting into the process. So if you have more than that, or you have different suppliers to fulfill for you, you want to work out API integration. So these are pre-planning you have to think about. And scaling operations with the business also. So if you're doing 50 orders a day, you can hire 3 part-timers. So if you do 500, then you're going to hire 30 people. Okay. Or do you think it's best spending the kind of money, hiring 30 people to help you to market, and you go with others to help you to do it? Okay. What if you have the goods, pay a bit more, and change a bit of know-how to actually manage your operations? You don't have to worry about the goods. So once in a while, you can audit where are the goods, because everything in the warehouse will be done, and then you let them handle the operations. Okay? So these are a few things I will share. I think we do over there. Thank you.
Thank you, Shern. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the tips for doing like cross-border. I think the guests may have some questions for you. Anyone from the floor? Or may I ask, at the moment you have Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, and Australia, and Southeast Asia. So are you guys planning to go into Europe region or US, Canada?
We have services into Europe, Australia, US, but we are not really focusing on that. But that said, when customers they have requirements to go into that, one thing good about us is we customize the solution and give contract for them because of our relationship with different partners in these places. So, for example, one of the customers, I'm knocking on the door saying that the requirement to ship something to Germany, 200 parcels a day, can you help me to find a good solution? company to sell daily to China. So we can start from scratch for how to integrate with it. So these are the things we do. Our office presence currently, our focus is in Asia Pacific. So we need to say if I want to set up office in Southeast Asia and East Asia. So we have Hong Kong, China, Korea. We are planning to set up Taiwan. Southeast Asia, we have Malaysia, planning to do Singapore, Philippines, Thailand. The reason we are focusing on this is because these are emerging markets. So a lot of the goods are also from Asia into Europe. So we want to have a presence there to serve our customers, to help them ship out to other business.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I think, yeah, this gentleman.
This one is the small parcel shipment. How much per parcel cost?
How do you calculate the small parcel shipment? I mean, you mean for cross-border?
Yeah.
Okay, there are two small parcels you're referring to. One is the postal packets.
The small value is not the first one.
The first one is postal packets. Okay, just for your perspective. Okay, postal packets they work a bit differently in the pricing. So when you send by post from overseas, so what we provide is we call it a kg and a piece cost. Okay. So when you use a courier service, right? Courier service normally they charge you a minimum 500. So I think 100. You have to pay 5 So if you have 10 items, which is 100 which is 1 kilo, you already pay 5 kilo. Okay? So postal packets we work on a per kilo consolidated weight. So if you have 100 items, we charge you 1 kilo. For per piece, we charge you a piece. That's right. So we also work on volume discount. So if you send from China into Malaysia, right, we actually give volume discounts based on volume. So we give you here. So if you give certain volume, to encourage you to ship more, to sell more, they actually give you more. So per piece from China to Malaysia costs you about 10 RMB. 10 RMB now is about 600. Okay, the per kg cost, check for you. Yeah. But when you sell lightweight item, what actually makes a difference is actually the price cost. Because the item is so light. If you send 100, 200 grams, right, the per kilo cost is actually not very high.
Okay. So, any other questions? Okay. If not, I think thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks to Shern for